I was scrolling through Instagram at 2 in the morning, couldn't sleep because of a work deadline, when I saw it. My mother's account. A professional family photo I'd never seen before. My parents, both grinning like they'd won the lottery. My brother Marcus and sister Shanice, dressed in matching cream sweaters, looking picture perfect. The caption made my stomach drop, "Thanksgiving with our real children. So blessed. Hashtag family first, hashtag grateful, hashtag real ones only." I wasn't in the photo. I wasn't even mentioned in the comments where dozens of people, aunties, cousins, church members, dropped hearts and praise hands. It was like I'd been erased. 28 years old, and I'd been digitally disowned. My hands shook as I screenshot it, my vision blurring. I'd moved to Atlanta 3 years ago for a marketing job, but I called every Sunday. I sent birthday cards. I remembered anniversaries. The comments kept loading. Aunt Cheryl, beautiful family, Gloria. Uncle Dennis, your real blessings right there. 73 comments. Not one person asked about me. Not one. I sat there in my studio apartment, the city lights blinking through my window, feeling like I'd been punched in the chest. My phone buzzed. A text from Shanice, "Don't start no drama about mom's post. You know how you are. How I am." I called her immediately. She didn't answer. Marcus didn't answer either. I was shaking, crying, my breath coming in gasps. 28 years of being their daughter, and I'd been reduced to nothing with one caption. One post. One deliberate, calculated erasure. Growing up in Charlotte, North Carolina, I always knew something was different. Marcus and Shanice got the big birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese, the brand new Jordans, the college funds Mama bragged about at church. I got gift cards and hand-me-downs. "We're stretching the budget, Keisha," Daddy would say, not meeting my eyes. But they weren't stretching anything for my siblings. Marcus got a car at 16. Shanice got a sweet 16 that cost $8,000. I got a cake from Food Lion and $20 when I turned 16. I told myself it was birth order. I was the oldest, they were just being more careful with me. Stricter. That's what oldest children got, right? But the difference wasn't about rules. It was about love. The way Mama's eyes lit up when Shanice walked in a room. The way Daddy's chest puffed with pride at Marcus's mediocre report cards while mine, straight as, got a nod. I worked 2 jobs through community college while they paid for Marcus's apartment at NC State. Full ride plus spending money. "You're more independent, Keisha," Mama said when I asked why. "You don't need us like they do." I convinced myself she was right. I was stronger. More capable. I didn't need validation. But God, I wanted it. I wanted my mother to look at me the way she looked at them. Like I mattered. Like I was precious. Instead, I got the leftovers of their affection. The scraps. And I took them gratefully because scraps were better than nothing. That Instagram post proved what I'd felt my whole life but never wanted to admit, I was the expendable one. The asterisk in their family story. The child they tolerated but never treasured. The call came 3 days after the post. Mama's voice was honey sweet, that church lady tone she used when she wanted something. "Baby, you coming home for Thanksgiving? I'm making your favorite, sweet potato pie with the pecan crust." She hadn't made that pie in 5 years. I'd watched her make it for Shanice's graduation party, telling everyone it was Shanice's favorite. Same pie. Different daughter claiming it. "I saw your Instagram post," I said flatly. Silence. Then, "What post?" "The one where you called Marcus and Shanice your real children." "Oh, Keisha." She sighed like I was being dramatic. "That wasn't about you. You're being sensitive. You know I didn't mean anything by it. People say, real, all the time. It's just a saying, baby. Don't be difficult. Difficult. That word again. The word she'd used my whole life whenever I asked for equal treatment, equal love, equal acknowledgement. I was difficult when I asked why they didn't come to my college graduation but threw Marcus a party when he barely passed freshman year. Difficult when I questioned why Shanice got the bedroom with the private bathroom. Difficult when I wanted explanations for the inexplicable. So you'll come? Mama pressed. Everybody's asking about you. Shanice is bringing Jerome, her new boyfriend. Marcus is bringing that girl, Tanya. It'll be nice. Like old times. Old times. When they forgot to pick me up from track practice. When they went to Disney World and left me with Grandma Pearl because somebody had to stay back. When they took family photos and I was always positioned on the end, easy to crop out. I'll be there, I said. Not because I forgave her. Because I'd decided something sitting in my apartment that night, staring at that screenshot, this Thanksgiving, they'd finally explain why I was never enough. I couldn't let it go. That caption haunted me. Our real children. Why that word? Why emphasize it? I started digging through old photos, boxes of memories I'd shoved under my bed when I moved. There was a baby picture of me, hospital bracelet still attached, baby girl Johnson, 8 pounds 2 ounces, September 15, 1996. But something was off. The hospital name, Presbyterian Hospital. I'd heard Mama tell the story 1,000 times about how Marcus was born at Carolina's Medical Center, same with Shanice. She loved talking about their births. Mine? She never gave details. Just, long labor, healthy baby, moving on. I called the hospital. They had records going back decades. I need my birth records, I told the clerk. Keisha Marie Johnson, September 15, 1996. One moment, please. The hold music felt like an eternity. When she returned, her voice was confused. I'm showing a birth certificate for that date, but the mother's name is listed as Patricia Anderson, not Gloria Johnson. And the baby's name is listed as Keisha Marie Anderson. Is it possible? I hung up. My hands were ice. Patricia Anderson. I'd never heard that name in my life. I searched for her on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Nothing. Like she'd vanished. Or maybe like someone had made sure she couldn't be found. I pulled out my birth certificate from my lockbox, the one I'd used for my passport. Mother, Gloria Johnson. Father, David Johnson. It looked official. But now I knew something was desperately wrong. I called Grandma Pearl, Daddy's mother. She was 83, sharp as a tack. Grandma, tell me about when I was born. Long pause. Baby, why you asking about that? Please, Grandma. Another pause. Then, some things are best left buried, Keisha. Your parents love you. That's all that matters. She hung up before I could press further. I drove to Charlotte 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, unannounced. Stayed with my cousin Brielle, who lived in South End. We'd always been close, even though she was 6 years older. She worked as a paralegal and had the kind of no-nonsense attitude that came from seeing too many messy divorces. We sat on her balcony drinking wine when I showed her the Instagram post. Girl, that's foul, she said immediately. Gloria's been on some other stuff lately. Mama said she's been weird at church, acting brand new. Bree, do you remember when I was born? She looked at me strangely. I was 6. I remember your parents bringing you home, though. Big deal. Mama made a cake. But. She trailed off. But what? There was drama. I remember Mama and Aunt Gloria arguing in the kitchen. Something about papers and money. Mama said Gloria was making a mistake, that lies always come out. I was too young to understand, but Mama's been cold to Gloria ever since. They're cordial, but it's not real love, you know. My heart hammered. What kind of papers? I don't know, Keisha. But after you were born, your granddaddy, Gloria's father, he stopped coming around. Completely cut her off. He died when you were 3, never spoke to her again. Nobody talks about why. I felt sick. I need to talk to your mom. She won't tell you. I've asked about the family drama before. She shuts down every time. I needed answers. I needed the truth. And I knew exactly where to find it, in the chaos of Thanksgiving dinner, when everyone was gathered, when there were witnesses, when they couldn't hide anymore. I'd spent 28 years being erased. Not anymore. I was about to make myself impossible to ignore. I hired a private investigator. Cost me $1,200 I didn't have, but I needed facts. His name was Leonard Hayes, retired cop turned PI. Within a week, he found her, Patricia Anderson, now Patricia Green, living in Columbia, South Carolina. 49 years old. Worked as a nurse. Had 2 other kids, both teenagers. She'd been 16 when she had me. 16. Leonard handed me the file in a coffee shop in Virginia Highland. Your parents adopted you privately. No agency involved. Patricia's parents arranged it through a lawyer friend. She signed away her rights 3 days after you were born. Here's the kicker, she didn't want to. Her parents forced her. Religious family, couldn't handle the shame. Does she know where I am? The adoption was supposed to be open until you were 5, then your parents cut off contact. She tried reaching out multiple times. They threatened a restraining order. She stopped trying when you were 8. I stared at the photo of Patricia. We had the same eyes, same smile, same gap in our front teeth. She looked kind. Tired, but kind. There was a handwritten letter in the file, dated 1998, addressed to Gloria and David Johnson. Please let me see my daughter. I made a mistake giving her up. I was a child. I'm older now. I can provide for her. Please. They never responded. They kept me and kept her away. But why? Why adopt a baby and then treat her like she was less than? Why erase me from family photos but keep me close enough to torture? Leonard leaned forward. There's more. Your father's sister, Doreen, she's been sending Patricia updates about you for years. Photos, report cards, everything. Without your parents knowing. She felt guilty about what they did. Aunt Doreen. The aunt who always slipped me extra money, who told me I was special, who seemed sad whenever she looked at me. She'd been my secret guardian angel. I had my ammunition. Now I needed my moment. Thanksgiving Day, I arrived at my parents' house in Myers Park at 1 p.m. sharp. The house looked like a magazine spread, fresh wreath on the door, pumpkins lining the porch, the smell of turkey and collard greens wafting through the air. Mama opened the door in her good apron, the one she wore when she wanted to impress. Keisha. Baby, you made it. Come in, come in. Everybody's in the living room. Everybody was Marcus, Shanice, their partners, Aunt Doreen, Uncle Dennis, and a few family friends. 15 people total. Perfect. I'd dressed carefully, black slacks, burgundy blouse, hair in a slicked-back bun. Professional. Credible. I hugged everyone, smiled, played the part of the grateful daughter. Aunt Doreen squeezed my hand extra tight, her eyes searching mine. She knew. Somehow, she knew I knew. Dinner was served at 3. The table was spectacular: golden turkey, cornbread dressing, mac and cheese that looked like velvet, greens swimming in pot liquor, candied yams, cranberry sauce. Mama outdid herself. We sat, held hands for prayer. Daddy led it, his deep voice thanking God for family, for blessings, for their beautiful children. He didn't stumble over the words. Didn't hesitate. Like I was included. Like the Instagram post never happened. We ate. Small talk flowed, Marcus's new promotion, Shanice's upcoming engagement to Jerome, the church's Christmas production. I was quiet, pushing food around my plate. Mama noticed. Keisha, baby, you feeling okay? You're not eating. I looked up. Everyone was watching me. Actually, I'm feeling a lot of things right now. Can I say something? Daddy frowned. Keisha, don't start. I'll start if I want to start, I said calmly. I have something to say, and everyone here is going to listen. Because I'm done being erased. The table went silent. Forks stopped midair. Aunt Doreen closed her eyes. She knew what was coming. 3 weeks ago, Mama posted a photo on Instagram. Called Marcus and Shanice her real children. I wasn't in the photo. Wasn't mentioned. 73 people commented. Nobody asked about me. So I started wondering, why would a mother call 2 of her children real and erase the third? I pulled out my phone, set it on the table. The Instagram post glowed on the screen. Mama, want to explain the caption? Gloria's face tightened. Keisha, this isn't the time. This is exactly the time. We're all here. Family dinner. Let's talk about family. I pulled out the file Leonard gave me, placed it next to my phone. Patricia Anderson. Ring a bell. The color drained from Gloria's face. David dropped his fork. It clattered against his plate, obscenely loud in the silence. Marcus looked confused. Who's Patricia Anderson? My biological mother. I opened the file, pulled out the birth certificate. The woman who gave birth to me when she was 16. The woman whose parents forced her to give me up. The woman Gloria and David adopted me from in a private arrangement. The woman they promised could have contact with me until I was 5, then cut off completely when she tried to be in my life. Shanice gasped. Keisha, what are you talking about? I'm adopted, Shanice. They never told me. Never told anyone. Raised me as their biological daughter, but treated me like a burden because I wasn't really theirs. I was the charity case. The good deed. The baby they took in to look righteous but resented every single day. I looked at my parents. Gloria was crying silently. David's jaw was clenched. Tell them. Tell them the truth. David stood up. This conversation ends now. You're being disrespectful. Disrespectful. You erased me from family photos. You gave me scraps while they got everything. You let me believe I was crazy for feeling excluded when you deliberately excluded me. My voice cracked. I'm not leaving until you admit what you did. Until everyone here knows why you called them your real children. Because I'm not real to you. I never was. Gloria stood up, her hands trembling. The tears were gone, replaced by something hard and defensive. You want the truth, Keisha. Fine. We took you in because we couldn't have children. I had 2 miscarriages, doctors said I'd never carry to term. Patricia's parents were members of our church. When she got pregnant, they begged us to take you. Said we'd be blessed. That God would reward us. And then you got pregnant with Marcus, I said, my voice hollow. Yes. Gloria's voice was barely a whisper. 6 months after we brought you home, I found out I was pregnant. It was a miracle. The doctors were wrong. We had Marcus, then Shanice 2 years later. And suddenly, you weren't. She stopped, but I finished for her. I wasn't necessary anymore. I was the placeholder baby. The practice run. We tried to love you the same, Gloria said weakly. But they were ours. Blood. You were different. It wasn't your fault, but we couldn't help how we felt. So we provided for you. Gave you a home, food, education. But not love, I interrupted. You gave me obligation, not love. You resented me for existing once you had the children you actually wanted. I looked at my siblings. Did you know? Marcus shook his head, looking sick. Shanice was crying. We didn't know, Keisha. I swear we didn't know. Aunt Doreen spoke up, her voice strong. I knew. I begged them to tell you. I've been sending Patricia updates about you for 15 years because Gloria refused to. That girl lost her baby and never stopped loving you, Keisha. Your parents made sure you'd never know her. Why? My voice broke. Why adopt me just to torture me? Why not just give me back? David finally spoke. Because we're not monsters. We made a commitment. We kept it. A commitment? I laughed bitterly. You kept me like a pet. Fed me, housed me, but never let me be family. You cropped me out of photos. You forgot my birthdays. You prioritized them in every possible way and told me I was being difficult when I noticed. Marcus pushed back from the table, his face twisted in disgust. This is sick. This is actually sick. He looked at our parents. All those times Keisha asked why she was treated different, you made us think she was jealous. You made us think she was dramatic. But it was real. You were actually treating her like garbage. We did our best, Gloria protested. Your best. Shanice's voice was shrill. Your best was giving her hand-me-downs while we got new clothes. Your best was sending her to community college while paying for Marcus's apartment. Your best was erasing her from Instagram with a caption that said we were your real children. How are you not hearing how insane this is? Jerome, Shanice's boyfriend, stood up. I think I should go. Sit down, Shanice snapped. You need to see this. You need to know what kind of family you're marrying into. Tanya, Marcus's girlfriend, was crying. This is so messed up. Uncle Dennis tried to mediate. Everyone needs to calm down. This is a family matter. This isn't a family, I said. This is a lie that lasted 28 years. They made me believe I was broken, that something was wrong with me, that I wasn't good enough to be loved like Marcus and Shanice. They gaslit me my entire childhood. I turned to my siblings. I don't blame you. You didn't know. But they knew. They knew every single day and chose this. Marcus looked at David. Dad, how could you do this? David's face was stone. We did what we thought was right at the time. At what time? I demanded. When I was 5 and you cut off my biological mother. When I was 10 and you forgot to come to my piano recital. When I was 16 and gave me $20 while Shanice got an $8,000 party. When I was 22 and you didn't come to my college graduation. Which time was right? Gloria sobbed. We're sorry, Keisha. We're sorry. Sorry doesn't fix 28 years of psychological torture. Aunt Doreen stood up, her eyes blazing. There's more you need to know, Keisha. Sit down. All of you. She waited until everyone sat, then dropped the bomb. Patricia's parents paid your parents $50,000 to take you and never contact Patricia again. It wasn't just an adoption. It was a payoff. The room exploded. Marcus shouted, "What?" Shanice grabbed the table edge. I felt dizzy. It's true, Aunt Doreen continued. I saw the check. I was there when they signed the papers. Patricia's father was wealthy, owned 3 car dealerships. He couldn't handle the shame of a teenage daughter with a baby. So he paid Gloria and David to take you and disappear. That money became your college fund, Marcus. Your sweet 16, Shanice. The down payment on this house. Gloria was sobbing hysterically now. Doreen, stop. No. She deserves the truth. You built your comfortable life on selling that girl's baby. And when Patricia tried to see Keisha years later, you threatened legal action because you were afraid she'd want the money back or expose the arrangement. You chose money over a mother's love for her child. I couldn't breathe. $50,000. I was sold. Like property. Like livestock. You sold me, I whispered. You literally sold me. We were struggling, David said desperately. We had debt. The money helped us get stable. It wasn't about selling you. You took money in exchange for a baby and cut off her mother. That's selling me. I stood up, my legs shaking. Every advantage you gave Marcus and Shanice was bought with my adoption. I paid for their perfect lives by being the reject child you resented. And you never once felt guilty enough to tell me the truth. Marcus was crying now, really crying. I can't believe this. I can't believe you did this. Shanice looked at Gloria with pure horror. You're not who I thought you were. Neither of you are. The perfect family image was shattered. And I was the hammer. I pulled out the last document from my file, Patricia's letter from 1998. My hands shook as I read it aloud. Dear Gloria and David, please let me see my daughter. I made a mistake giving her up. I was a child. I'm older now. I can provide for her. Please. She's my heart. Every day without her is agony. I'm begging you. Let me know her. Let her know me. I'll never try to replace you, but please don't erase me from her life. She deserves to know she was wanted. That I loved her. That I love her still. My voice broke on the last words. The table was silent except for the sound of crying. I looked at Gloria. You read this and threw it away. You kept me from someone who actually loved me because you were afraid I'd choose her. You were so insecure about your miracle babies that you couldn't stand the idea of me having another mother who might love me better. Gloria had no defense. David looked broken. The mask of the righteous Christian family had crumbled completely. I stood up, grabbed my coat. I'm leaving. I'm going to Colombia to meet Patricia tomorrow. I found her. She still asks about me, still wonders if I'm okay, still loves me even though she hasn't seen me in 23 years. That's real love. Not whatever this was. Keisha, please, Gloria reached for me. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Don't call me. Don't text me. We're done. You wanted your real children. You got them. I'm going to find my real mother. The one who never stopped fighting for me. Marcus stood up. I'm coming with you. So am I, Shanice said. I looked at them, my not really siblings, and saw genuine grief and solidarity. You don't have to do this. Yes, we do, Marcus said firmly. They lied to all of us. They built our lives on hurting you. We can't fix the past, but we can support you now. We left together, walking out on the ruins of Thanksgiving dinner, leaving Gloria and David with their guilt and their empty table. I met Patricia on Black Friday at a coffee shop in Colombia. She walked in, and I knew her immediately. She looked like an older version of me, with graying locks and laugh lines around her eyes. When she saw me, she stopped breathing for a moment, her hand flying to her mouth. Keisha. Hi, I managed, standing up. I'm sorry it took so long. She crossed the distance between us and hugged me so tight I thought my ribs would crack. She smelled like cocoa butter and lavender. Like home. She was crying, and so was I. I never stopped thinking about you, she whispered. Every birthday. Every Christmas. Every single day. We sat and talked for 6 hours. She told me about the pregnancy, how scared she was, how her parents forced the adoption, how she tried to get me back. She told me about my half-siblings, Maya and Jordan, who'd known about me their whole lives and were desperate to meet me. She told me she became a nurse because she wanted to help people the way she couldn't help herself at 16. She told me she'd forgiven herself for giving me up but never forgave Gloria and David for keeping me from her. You deserved better than what they gave you, Patricia said, holding my hands. You deserve to be celebrated, not tolerated. Marcus and Shanice met her too, and Patricia was gracious with them, understanding they were victims of our parents' lies as well. We made plans, Christmas together, a trip to meet Maya and Jordan, building the relationship we'd been robbed of. I changed my last name legally to Anderson. I didn't do it to hurt Gloria and David, I did it to honor the woman who never stopped being my mother, even when she wasn't allowed to be. I started therapy to process the trauma of 28 years of rejection. I learned that my worth wasn't determined by people who couldn't see it. Gloria and David tried reaching out dozens of times. I didn't respond. Marcus and Shanice maintained minimal contact, mostly to tell them how disappointed they were. The family fractured, but from the cracks grew something better, honesty, healing, and a relationship with Patricia that felt like coming home. That Instagram post was meant to erase me. Instead, it freed me. Sometimes the worst betrayals lead to the best transformations. I'm Keisha Marie Anderson. I'm loved. I'm wanted. I'm real. And I'm finally enough.